So I'm not gonna lie, I know at least one of you out there, gotta feel like sometimes when you're checking out a new series, one of the main things, if you've been reading some manga for a while, shonen manga in particular from Jump, then you're probably going into it with, hopefully this isn't the same old. Shonen Jump's newest manga, The Last Saiyuki. Yes, it's been a while since I've talked about new manga, but I wanted to give this one a try. I also checked out one of their latest manga called Chainsaw Man. Might talk about that one, but The Last Saiyuki came to my attention. Now, immediately I was okay, like, what's up with this? I seen the art. It's a boy holding a girl that she looks like she's like passed out or something. So I'm like, I don't know, but if you go into it with that mindset right now, maybe you'll actually enjoy it as much as me, I don't know, but I'm gonna give you a heads up, alright? The Last Saiyuki, I read the first chapter. Again, there's only one chapter out right now. It's a brand new series, and wow, the first chapter at the very least, and again, it can mislead us. It can go in a whole different direction from what it started. Most series, or a lot of series at the very least, tend to do that. Seraph of the End, we've seen, it starts off like, whoa, it's going here, and then, same thing with like Blue X and stuff like that. So it could go that direction, definitely could, and I hope not, because it seems like it has potential to go that way. But The Last Saiyuki absolutely blew me away with originality and quality, because now, I've been doing this for a while. I don't just look at like, hey, is it cool, whatever. I look at a lot of aspects, like, am I going on the boy's journey story? What are we doing here? And there's an element of that definitely in The Last Saiyuki. Let me give you a brief synopsis of this series, again based off the first chapter. So the main character, Ryunosuke, little kid, when he was younger, he seen somebody hit a home run, and his mom, gave him encouraging words that inspired him to, pursue baseball. When he got to 3rd grade, he could finally sign up to be on the baseball team, but lo and behold, his dad, which his mom is deceased at this given point, throws a monkey wrench in his plan and brings home a little girl that he says is now going to be his little sister, and she can't see or move her arms or legs. Of course, any 3rd grader would be like, yo, I'm very upset. So he was bitter at her for a little bit, was kind of mean to her, didn't really care about her like that. And one day he went even to go see his friends and said, I don't care, left her alone. She got, something bad happened to her. He gets punished, thrown into a dark room, and he gets really scared all of a sudden in this room. And again, I'm giving you a brief rundown. I'm going to try my best not to spoil everything, but he gets really scared. His little sister uses her head to bust open the door and help him escape, and tells him sorry. He feels dedicated to her and tells her, from now on, I'm going to protect you. And then it gets even realer than that, and I don't really want to spoil, but the first chapter, I ain't gonna lie, blew me away in my expectations of, because I seen the first, I see the cover art, and a lot of people might think, yo, is this a sports series? To my knowledge, no. It seems as though that's just an element of that. Maybe baseball is popular in Japan because the main character, he's like holding a baseball bat, whatever, and he's really into baseball. But again, as I explained in the synopsis, he can't really, participate because he has to stay home. He's, pulled out of school now. He has to stay home with his younger sister. Which honestly, the color page of the first chapter really is what stood out to me from Jump, when this little girl's in a chair and, the main character Ryunosuke is explaining about how his little sister coming into his life changed his world, and even said about uploading a video or something. That wasn't really addressed in this chapter, so I'm imagining that's going to be addressed later on. But holy cow, again, this manga, I got to stress, The Last Saiyuki. Go read it. At least the first chapter. Go read it. It was a breath of fresh air for Shonen Jump. We mostly go with, a kid that wants to fight and go out in the world. This kid wants to play baseball. His mom passed away. His dad tells him, hey, you're not playing baseball. You're not going to school no more. As a matter of fact, you're taking care of this little girl that really can't fend for herself. Little kid gets mad. They form a bond. But then supernatural stuff starts happening, and it gets real. Trust me, like there's crazy stuff going on in this series. I just, again, hope that it doesn't stray away. But again, The Last Saiyuki. So let's talk about some of the things that, again, I was really excited about regarding the series. Again, is the originality. I felt as though having this whole element of an adopted little sister that gets on the kid's nerves is an interesting factor. I'm also noticing something big in shonen manga that I want to point out right here, and this could be a discussion in and of itself, which this is more so just a recommendation on The Last Saiyuki, but we can talk about this too, is the fact that I'm noticing more and more newer series are making the kids even younger and younger. Have you noticed that with Shonen Jump, we went from like 16 years old with JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, and the characters looked like they were in their 30s with big muscles, to, You know what I'm saying? We get to Dragon Ball, then Goku's a little younger. Obviously, he grew up by Z. Then we get to, like, you know, Dragon Ball Z era, where you have, you know, Rorin and Kenshin and stuff like that. These older looking guys are still kind of young, keeping it. I think Kenshin was like 19, supposedly, or something like that. So you have that era. Then you have a follow-up era of the Naruto, One Piece, and Bleach era. Naruto, Luffy, and Ichigo were all about like 15. I think Naruto was like 12, 13 in the beginning of the series. You know, then he gets the time skip or whatever. So we had that era. Now we have down to the Promised Neverland, where those kids are really, really young. I think they're about to turn 12 or something like that. And the kids in this series, again, in the 3rd grade, the last Saiyuki. So it's interesting to see the development and the change in Shonen Jump and where it's at right now. That you could almost argue that series like the Promised Neverland and this series, the last Saiyuki, are more of the new generation, while, well, this series is too young to be included. But you get what I mean. In comparison to the Black Clovers and My Heroes that are still kind of more in the realm of the age group of, like, in the feel of like the Narutos and stuff. So Last Saiyuki, definitely a newer gen, younger characters, but I like so many aspects of it. It definitely has that element of, holy crap, this is a horror series. These are little kids. And I remember there was a series, Iron Knight, that kind of had a cool element like this. And I don't know if this is from the same creator or whatnot, but man, I just can't stress enough how blown away I was by the originality and the quality. Again, like the writing, it kind of takes you for a twist and turn, and I'm hoping that this is going to be the same writing style throughout the series with this story, The Last Saiyuki, because it's like every time I think the series is going to go this way, it takes a slight left, doesn't go too far off, but it does go far off enough that you're like, wow, this is different. The main character, Ryunosuke, again, little kid. I think as I'm getting older and it's weirder that Shonen Jump is getting younger with the main characters and stuff like that, it is hard for somebody like me to relate to the character. Again, it's a little kid that wants to play baseball, but I understand the whole concept in the sense of like, yo, when you're a little kid, you have a dream, or in general, anybody, as a matter of fact, I guess this could be applied to, because again, Ryunosuke's dream was to play baseball. You want to hit a home run, and you know, he can't even play baseball when he's about to start playing baseball. So I guess you could equate that to when you have a dream, and whether it be, you know, your parents, or whether it be your boss, or whether it be anybody, takes that dream away from you and is like, shoot, how do you adapt? And then, you know, the relationship between Ryunosuke and his sister, because, again, a little bit more spoilers, there's something special about his sister, and I think her name is Satoru. I might be totally off, but forgive me on that one. But there's something special, and again, I'm spoiler-free, about the girl that makes it even more intriguing. Again, I feel as though this series potentially is in like the horror element, and I could be totally off, but it seems as though based on the demonic aspects that we've had in this one, that it could fall in the horror realm, which Shonen Jump has lately been adopting a lot more of these horror manga, which I'll take them, baby. I'll take them, because again, I'm getting older, so I like these elements where it feels like serious, to a certain degree, storytelling, in a way of like, it takes itself very serious. Like a series like, you know, Black Clover, Asto starts screaming at himself and it'll be real goofy and cut off in the middle of it. This one definitely doesn't really have that much comedy, so if you're coming to The Last Saiyuki hoping for any comedy, you will be disappointed. There's not much comedy in this one. Again, there's this kind of simplistic, simple story of this kid that his original goal is he wants to hit a home run and play baseball, but now he has to protect his little sister from these things that we're not going to talk about, and at the same time understand more about her. She's interesting. We find out throughout the story that his sister is not actually a normal person, not even really like a you and I. Again, that's maybe as spoiler free as I'm going to be. Art-wise, it wasn't too impressive, honestly. There wasn't a panel that I was just like blown away. There was some decent art, but I wouldn't give this guy like the greatest credit in the world as far as art goes. It was decently drawn, but man, I just gotta stress, I think we have something here. I think that if this one continues, and obviously this could get axed next week, I'm not saying this is the next big thing. If it was up to me, I'd make this the next big thing, and I'd keep it to the core elements of like exploring more about this sister that Ryunosuke has to take care of, which that's obviously going to be explored or whatever, but the whole element of him having to stay home and the tragedies that befall them, that they eventually start bonding and stuff, that's really dope, and I want them to focus more on that aspect. There are supernatural elements. This is a battle shonen. I feel it seems as though it's a battle shonen, especially towards the end when we get the plot twist with Ryunosuke and his father, and Ryunosuke swinging his bat. I'm hoping to see some interesting and cool powers. If you're going to take baseball, which they're seemingly taking baseball and adding it into this horror mixed with an action. I don't know. It's hard to describe what this series is. I think one of the scariest things is, again, going back to page 1 of how the main character says her voice can annihilate the world, and again, it looks like the world is blown up and he's carrying his little sister. It almost gives me reminiscent feels of Grave of the Fireflies, seeing Ryunosuke carrying his sister in that very first color page. And I think you could probably get an idea for the most part of how crazy and insane this Shonen Jump series is based off that first color spread of Ryunosuke walking with his sister on his back, and it's like a big explosion and him saying her voice can destroy the world. Like, absolutely brilliant way, banging way, explosive way to start a fresh series, 2019 Shonen Jump. I think they might have something here. Hopefully, if the voters agree, and hopefully they vote this one in, it'll do big things. I was interested in Chainsaw Man, but I don't see that one lasting that long. Hopefully it does, but it doesn't really seem to be making waves, so I don't know about that one. But I can assure you, if you're tired of the same old premise, same old story that you get in Shonen Jump, I think you will be pleasantly surprised with the last Saiyuki. The main character's a bit young, Ryunosuke, and if you're a little older, if you're like, in your mid-20s, you're probably going to be a little tired of that aspect, but that's the new wave of Shonen Jump. I mean, he's not the most interesting or whatever, he's a little kid, but the baseball element is going to be cool, incorporated, and again, this horror aspect, and this little girl that almost, the little sister essentially feels as though she's kind of scary, and like, I don't know, like, their bond is cool, but then like, she kind of does weird things, and but I'm kind of curious, if you've read the first chapter of the last Saiyuki, what do you think? Do you think that Shonen Jump got something here? Did you feel it was original? Did you like the premise? What did you think of the story? Any expectations or predictions for the little sister? If you haven't read this one yet, based on my recommendation, will you check it out? Again, go read it. You ain't got nothing to lose. It's a really dope series. This ain't a sponsorship, I'll tell you right now. I just really liked what I read for Last Saiyuki. But that's all I have for this one. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you liked anything I had to say or enjoyed the video, drop me a like. I'd greatly appreciate it. And if you want more from me, make sure to subscribe. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram, hit the bell to get all notifications. And of course, if you want to support any of my music, links in the description below. Got a new song out, You're Not Goku. Make sure to check that out. I'm ForneverWorld, and as always, people, have an awesome day. And remember the golden rule: anime and manga for life, boy. Bow. Can't forget the music. Have an awesome day.
Maybe lately what I've been facing got me crazy. No, I can't take it. Maybe, 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 maybe lately what I've been facing got me crazy. No, I can't take it. Maybe, 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 I don't know what to do anymore. Maybe, maybe, maybe.